Yo.
Hello there, Gigi.
And
So I'm doing a tea list.
Ooh, okay. What's the prompt? What's the question?
Right, and it is who would survive in a horror movie and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So obviously we have you first. What would you do in this situation? We all
Isn't
agreed that
even-
you would go in with everybody, but you would be the one who survives at the end because of rationality
would-
and decisions.
Yeah,
Remember,
I would
chat, the funny one,
probably
or would you do
survive,
the
but I
honours
think
and
is
put
the
yourself
killer is
on
not a
would
bad
survive?
option either. If I'm being honest.
So you'd be the one who just goes criminally insane.
Not even criminally insane. It's just, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Like these bitches screaming too much about ghosts. Gotta take them out.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Like I think I could survive, but let's be honest here.
You already know I don't fuck around and find out, by the way.
Oh yeah, 100%. Every time we play a horror game, you literally turn around. Like you,
Aye.
you literally walk up to the door. We'll play like something like fucking Phasmo, and you'll be like in the trailer, like,
These
damn, that's
tears will
crazy.
cause-
These
And that's
bitches
how I
dying.
survive all the time.
Right. You didn't survive a ghost attack. You survived
Next up, we have
sitting in a
Fruit.
trailer. Fruits. She might. I don't
feel
know.
like she actually goes and investigates horror situations. She does
would,
that a
but
lot
she's
in
in the
games,
house.
and
The
then
ghost
she
is
dies.
always the
Yeah,
first.
she would die. She goes too far
Zen would be
in every
first,
time,
just in
right? She's like, ooh,
and
what's
storm
this?
out.
Ooh, what's that? And she ends up like all the way in the back. She's always the last one running out.
I swear to God, it's so funny when you hear her screaming.
It's always from afar too, because we're always like we're running out already, and she's like so far in the back. You just hear like a tiny fruit voice from the corner.
I think we're all hung up on this one. What do you think for Haruka?
Haruka, oof, man.
I feel
honestly,
like she's like me, and she would just leave immediately.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think we could even get her
Like she
in
doesn't
there.
really fuck around and find out, but at the same time,
No, she'd be like, oh guys, I don't think we should do this. She just wouldn't even go
she
in.
fights the monsters.
Nah, no, she's not a
Sometimes
fighter.
she will fight the monster though. No.
She'll do it in like a comedic outburst, but I think real horror situation, I don't think she would.
Next up, Henya.
Ooh, she honestly, she either dies first or halfway through. I sat with her when she was playing Visage, okay? I was sitting with her because she was like really scared and she needed someone in VC, right? So I'm sitting there while she's playing it and just like talking to her. And like a piece of grass could move and she'd start screaming and freaking out. I don't think she would be able to access any survival tactics in her brain because her brain just shuts off and she just starts screaming.
So basically she would get freaked out at the first shadow and then run into the monster and then die immediately first.
100%. She would slip on some water like a little
Oh my
puddle
God.
and die.
Next up, Hime.
Ooh. I think, okay,
Thank
I've
you
watched
so
her
much
play
for the
horror
love.
games. She does
Wonderful
like scream, she
stream.
just get freaked out a little
Be
bit, but
sure
she
to go
keeps
check them
trucking.
out.
She keeps moving forward. So I think she might kill it but die, like
MMM.
Blaze of Glory. Yeah.
And a
There's a
blaze
chance
of
she would
glory.
survive, but
Huh?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how many games you've watched her play, but when she was watching that, she was playing this one where it's
I think I should
attached
put
her
into a
mic.
real situation.
Yeah. I think she'd be
I
practical.
think she would actually survive.
Mm-hmm.
She would outrun the whole situation and survive.
100%.
Next up, Mouse.
Mouse is pretty good with horror stuff.
That's a tough one.
She likes morbid things. I
Okay,
think
I might get some shit for this. I think she dies first.
100%. Because even though she likes this stuff, no sense of danger, right? She'd walk in and be like, ooh, what's
She's
this?
so... Yeah, like she'll talk so much shit to the monster and not be able to back it up, and it would just immediately get her first.
Yeah.
Like I literally see that being her downfall immediately. Or like the monster isn't real, guys, check it out.
Yeah. She'd be like, ghosts aren't real, guys, as she gets killed.
Next up is Kaisin.
She would kill it. She would kill the monster. She plays a fuck ton of horror games, so she's pretty resilient. But would she
goes
survive?
out fighting absolutely real, honestly.
She'd be the person who's like, you guys go, I'll hold the
I
back.
feel like she would. Yep. Oh god. Okay, Kuro.
Yeah, I'm thinking on this one. Oof. There's a good chance he leaves immediately, but I also
There's
think
like
he
three things.
leaves immediately, dies first, is the killer. Those are my votes. You ever heard his clown laugh? You ever heard him do a clown
That's
laugh?
exactly
It's
what I'm
horrible.
thinking.
He'd make such a good
Literally
killer in
like-
like a movie.
You know what? He wouldn't make people think he would die first, but he's actually the killer.
Yeah, he'd go for like the revenge arc, right? He'd be like, you guys
Like he'll
thought I was
pretend he
weak.
dies first, but then he ends up being the killer.
Absolutely.
Next up, Matter.
Okay,
I'm
so I
getting
know
tired.
people have the
Oh
vibe
boy.
of her like
Recharge my
being like
restful range and
I'm
be
like, oh,
safe.
she's like, you know, she's like older. She likes to eat people, whatever. But have you watched her play a horror game? She pisses and shits herself instantly, screaming the whole time, cannot think, running around, dies first. She wouldn't even go in,
Literally,
or she'd
she's
die
out of
immediately.
here.
Yeah. There's no
She's
way.
not even gonna go near that house if you see that she's like, fuck no.
Nope. Nope.
Not even all the wine in the world. We're getting into that house.
Mm-mm.
Holy
Ooh, Michi.
Michi, I'm sorry I gotta say this. She survives.
What? No, I don't think she would. No, there's no way. Ain't no way that bitch living.
She's so fucking suited that she somehow gets through the entire fucking area without even knowing how. Have you ever seen Cabin in the Woods?
Like
The
someone that
stoner
falls up the
survives.
stairs to success, trips up the whole way.
Literally.
I think I could see it. I think I would also put her like just with
Zooted
fruit.
or
She would be
sober,
so
Michi, that's the
zooted that she would
question.
get through somehow.
I think she'd be so zooted that she'd be like, oh hey ghost, and lay down and be like, let's hang out, and then just die to it. I think she'd be with fruit.
You know what? That's also fair.
Yeah, like she goes out that way for sure, but she goes out.
That is 100% fair.
Oh, Mel.
Finally, last but not least, Melody.
She's a strong contender for dies first. But she's resourceful. She's also a contender, I think, for surviving, personally. She thinks her way through situations pretty well, but she also could just die first. I'm like 50-50. I feel like, you know, the thing you were saying about Michi, like kind of stumbling her way through, I feel like Mel is more likely to do that.
I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and she gets through it somehow.
I think she always seems to get through things somehow, right? Like when,
Like I
when I
don't
think
know
she won't
how,
do a thing in a
but
game,
she
she
does it.
will. Yeah. She's got that energy.
So this is the cheer list for who survives horror and who doesn't.
Her
All
alive
right,
for a
we have
few
our
weeks
thing.
just-
All right.
Next, first up, we have fruit.
Fruit does not go outside, for starters. If I said fruit,
Does.
you need to go outside and forage for food. I don't know how that would go.
Doesn't she usually just have tea and, like beans and toast?
Yeah. She's a beans and toast Andy. I think she would die on the island because I don't think she'd have it in her to start swimming. I think she'd be like too afraid. She'd die on the island, or
True.
she might get saved. But then again, she'd have to live long enough to be found, right? The longer you live, the better your chance of getting saved.
Exactly.
I think she'd be
I
gone
don't
in
think
2
she
weeks.
does too much cooking.
No.
Next up, we have you.
I'm a known outdoorsy camper hiking type person. I'd say there's a good chance I'd just live on the island. I would not try to escape. I am not the type to risk making a raft going out there. No, I think that's a shit idea. I make a lean-to and I live.
Has anybody actually made a raft to escape from an island?
People have tried
Like a
things
wooden
like
raft.
that, but yeah, that usually doesn't work.
Next up is Haruka.
Okay, I will say, Haruka is very proud of her swimming ability. Okay, Haruka is like, no, you don't understand. I used to swim a lot. I love swimming. I'm so good at swimming. 100% she'd be like, guys, I can make it, and she'd go swim and die. 100%. She'd be like, check this out, guys. Swims off into the sunset.
Dramatic pause. I'm gonna go get help. Swims off into the sunset. Doesn't come back.
Wait for me, you guys. Then she's gone.
Well, shit. Next up is Hinya.
Yeah. I think Henya would...
Max Wilson.
Ooh, yeah. I think, you know, she talks to herself a lot.
She definitely makes Wilson.
Yeah, you know, her brain would start that like magical thinking kind of thing. She'd see a coconut, she'd be like, oh, it's like little face. Next thing you know, Wilson.
Yes.
Now that being said, there's a small chance she does get saved because she'd just
Absolutely, yes.
scream really loud. But yeah, I'm down with her making Wilson.
Next up is Hime.
I think Hime would be like, nope, I'm out. I'm not doing this. I think she'd do the raft plan and try to escape. Knowing her, she'd be like,
Honestly,
nope, I'm out.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't think she'd have the patience to try and like just wait on the island long enough to get saved or like to just live there. I think she'd just be like, I can't fucking do this anymore.
Panic
And she'd
would
just
set
go.
in.
Yeah.
Next up is Mouse.
I think
That's
she'd
a
die on the
tough
island.
one.
I think Mouse would be like, I can't stand this, and she'd just lay down. So either she'd die on the island or she'd get saved. If someone spotted her. She'd be like, I'm not dealing with this shit.
So she just says, fuck this, too tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, there's the chance she could
Next
get
up,
saved.
Kason.
I think she'd either be in the same boat as me, where she just is able to like make do, or Hime, where she just says like, "No, I'm gonna try and leave."
I don't think
Yeah,
she
definitely one of
escapes
two.
the island. I think she does.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah, she would try it.
I get that vibe of her, like I'm just going to do whatever the fuck it takes to do whatever I need to.
Exactly.
And apparently she can fish and all that kind of stuff too, so.
That's true.
Next up, Kuro.
Kuro. Okay, this guy, he either goes, I'm gonna swim, I'm gonna try it, it can't be that far, and dies, or he makes Wilson. He's gotta be one or the other.
I think he makes Wilson.
Yeah.
I 100% think he makes Wilson.
Susceptible mind, starts thinking about, when
He's
I look
going
at
to
this
go into the
tree.
corner and just start talking to himself.
He'd be going crazy. He's already crazy.
Next up, Matter.
I could pick the meme answer and I could say eats friends because she talks about it. But knowing her, like for real, she could never. Okay, her memes are the opposite of her. She could never. She'd feel so bad. She'd be like, everyone, there's one coconut and we all have to share it equally, okay? She'd be that person. No, guys, I won't eat the coconut. You can have it. You can have it.
True.
That would be my... I think Matara would get saved. I think she'd be pretty resourceful, right? She'd like spell help with sticks on the beach, She'd like start a campfire, make smoke signals.
Oh,
she would
yeah.
do
You
something.
know
I think
what?
she'd get saved.
I see
She also
that.
I mean this in the nicest way possible. She's the type to get saved, I think. You know what I mean? Like she suits that role really well.
She is definitely a princess.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, you saved me.
But
Right,
she's
she
our
gets picked up by a
princess.
boat. Yeah.
Next up, Michi.
Okay, now I think she'd eat people. Because Michi's very like, she's like, you gotta do what you gotta do. Like IRL, for real, like she'd be like, well,
She would
they
be
died,
so
so.
suited, like she would people see people like as meat.
She's like, they're already dead. What am I gonna do?
Oh
Just
my
leave them?
God.
You can't waste food. Ugh,
Oh sweet Jesus.
she would do it.
Yeah, pretty much. That's true.
Because I know I've talked to her about this before.
Melody.
What people would taste like. She's curious. Mel, Mel gives me the same vibe as Mata, where she would get saved. Be sitting there and someone would come by and they'd be like, what are you doing here? She's like, oh, I don't know. Thank you so much, though. Very kind of you. She just get on a boat. I could just see it happening. Wow, that's very nice of you.
Literally,
Wow.
I feel like he definitely would. She would get out of there.
Yeah.
Last but not least,
I think it's a 50-50 in my mind between lives on island, dies on island. Because I think you'd be the same as me, where you'd be like, I'm not even trying the raft shit, right? Like, especially if you don't see the mainland, like across the way, you just see
actually know
water
how
everywhere.
to fish and I know outdoor shit.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I think you'd just try to be on the island. So you'd either
I would
live
be
or die.
done with living with you on the island, honestly.
Yeah. We'd be glamping, give us like 2 weeks. You ever watch those videos of guys being like, I built
I'm
an
not gonna
entire
go
house?
out and just fucking get swallowed by the sea and be fish food, man.
That's what I'm saying. No fucking way.
And we have there, you guys have it, the island survival tier list.